Hey guys, today we're going to do a 20-pound brisket on the Traeger Little Tex, Derek Allan's Bark Builder, Uncle Steve's Shake. What a combination. Stick around. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Todd. This is Greenhorn Barbecue Beer. So as I said in the beginning, we're going to be doing a brisket, and here she is. So what we're going to be starting with here is a 20-pound choice brisket. It's got the typical fat on there that we're going to trim away, and it's not a bad looking brisket. It is just your basic choice brisket, and you know, we're just going to start doing a real basic trim. Now we're going to be taking this brisket with us camping, and we're going to be dividing it up and cutting it up and storing it in some cryo bags. So I really don't want to lose too much of this yield, because we can always make some breakfast, and you know, there's going to be some other dishes we're going to make while we're camping. But so what I wanted to do is just start kind of working on getting some of this fat off of here. Not a whole lot of it. I'm definitely going to try to get it a little bit better, but since I'm using that Uncle Steve's Shake and that Derek Allan's, you know, I really want the meat to take on some of that flavor. So I don't want to get this or let this silver skin and fat get in the way. So that's my motivation right there. You know, if I was just going to go with a basic salt and pepper, Texas style and whatnot, well, you know, actually this is a Texas style. I'm using Derek Allan's and Uncle Steve's. Hey, those are Texas rubs, but you know, the traditional salt and pepper and whatnot. So so get yourself a nice sharp knife, as always. You guys know that. Don't need to tell you. But maybe one little handy tip, you know, before you get started on a new cut, run it through your sharpener a few times and get it ready for the trimming. Definitely helps out. Even the best of the knives don't stay sharp forever, so keep them sharpened and treat them good, and they'll take care of you. So anyway, this isn't a how-to trim your brisket tutorial, so I'm going to get busy and I'll meet you on the other end. So as you can see, I did a really basic backyard trim here. You know, I'm not going to no competition. We're going camping and we're taking this with us. I'll just show you the other side. Now I've left at least a 1/4 inch, maybe a little bit more in some thinner areas. You know, I'm using the fat cap here to protect the flat, okay, because this is some really thin protein here. That's going to probably try to burn away. So I'm going to leave that fat right there. And over here, I've been kind of, I don't know, a little bit hazardous with my trim here. I'm leaving some fat where I like to see it sometimes. I've kind of, you know, I'm not doing an aerodynamic cut. This is going in the Traeger, and I'll have a lot of control over how this thing is cooking in there. Of course, I'm going to be wrapping as well. So here we go. So what I got here is some of this Liquid Aminos. It's a natural soy sauce alternative. I really like this. I've experimented with it, using it on a few other cooks, and I really like that. So basically, it kind of has this beefy flavor, but also it's good for you. As the name says, aminos, it's got some additives in there that are actually healthy for you, believe it or not. Plus, you know, if you smell that right now, it's just got such a beefy flavor right now. So I'm going to rub that in. Doesn't need a whole lot. I'm going to flip it over. And now, as an alternative, Worcestershire sauce. Okay, it's almost the same thing, but a little bit different. I would say this is probably, if I were to have to guess, is a little bit gamier tasting, because I have no other description to give you, but it's a little bit more gamier tasting than Worcestershire sauce. But you know, it serves the same purpose. It just gives you a nice Gives you a nice little alternative to, you know, avocado oil or vegetable oil or any other kind of oil, duck fat, you know, whatever you decide to use. So, so what we're going to do now is let those liquid aminos kind of sit in for a little bit before we rub it down. In the meantime, I'm going to go outside and just make sure I get the Traeger in the right position, and then I'll be back inside. All right, guys, so I got the Traeger ready to go. Okay, you guys know all the drill. You open it up and you set your temperature. You're going to go to a smoke setting, and then once all that white smoke goes away, then you're going to set your target temperature. And today we're going to be going for 250 until internal temperature is just past the stall, 165. Then we're going to wrap, either put it back on the Traeger or put it in the oven. It doesn't matter at that point. But let's go finish seasoning up the brisket. It's looking pretty good. Now I a few little areas of silver skin left on here. That's okay. This is a backyard cook. So again, as I was mentioning, I really love this Uncle Steve's shake, this Gator Shake. I think this is becoming his most popular flavor here. It's got really awesome notes of almost everything I like. You know, it's got a little bit of sweetness. It's got a little bit of bite to it, a little bit of salt. It's just an all-around really good rub. I really like it a lot. And so what we're going to do is, because this has got the salt on it, I'm going to go ahead and put this on as the base layer here. So now here we go with the Derek Allans. Now this stuff comes out really fast. You see these slots here, which are awesome. It says it's for pork, but as you guys seen in my last video with this stuff, you can use it on almost anything. So just be really careful about how that comes out, because it comes out fast. But we want some bark, so. Let the side set up a little bit more, wait for that Traeger to come up to temperature. When it's at 250, it's time to go on. So I'm going to have to be kind of a little creative with this little text now. The temperature is kind of stabilizing. I'm using Rectech pellets, and I'm going to do a blend. I'll probably put in some other kind of pellets I have. It's really not so important to me of the variety really on a Traeger. You're not going to know the difference in most pellets, but what I am going to do, like I said, I'm going to go fat cap up. Oops. What I did say I was going to do is I'm going to put the fat cap side up. I'm going to put it at an angle here a little bit. There we go. Not bad. Okay, what I don't need to do is put a probe in there, because you know it's going to be cooking on here so long over a certain amount of time that you know, I'm not looking for that kind of precision here. So I'm not going to probe it or anything like that. I'm just going to let this thing get in here, do its thing until it passes a stall. All right, guys, as I mentioned, this thing is going to be on the Traeger most of the day, because I just have too much to do than to sit around and babysit a stick smoker. As much as we love the taste, we just don't have the time today. That's where these Traegers and any pellet grills really come in handy. Set it, almost forget it, because you still need to check it once in a while. You got to make sure that the pellet level is always adequate. Don't forget your temperature, and just to make sure the thing is actually still working. So you can put a probe in there, set up with one of these wireless thermometers and stuff like that, but I'm going to be working around the house, so I could swing by once in a while and check it out, have another beer, see how it's chugging along. Otherwise, I think it's pretty self-sufficient. So I'm going to get busy with other things, and I'll see you in a few hours. All right, guys. So as you can see here, got a little bit of a fat leak here. That's probably because maybe I cut away some of the fat cap a little too much right there. But it's past the stall. 175 on the flat. It's definitely 171 on the point. So let's go ahead and wrap.
All right, guys, back on the Traeger at 250, double wrapped in foil with the Campbell's beef broth. This tastes pretty good. So I'm going to be going for probe tenderness. So that means I am going to use my instant read thermometer here. If you guys like this, I'll put a link in the description down there. And not only am I checking for the right temperature, you know, right around 205 or so, I'm not taking that as important as probe tender. I want this probe to feel like it's going through soft, cold, even peanut butter in all the areas, even the point. I'll probably get there in the flat before I get there to the point, but that's what I'm kind of looking for. So once I get to that tenderness, then I'm going to take it off and rest it for about an hour, and then we're going to take a look at it. All right, here we go, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut it right down the middle here. A little bit of resistance at the in the flat where it's pretty lean. That's kind of expected. All right, there we go. And I'm just going to take the flat away. Just show you the point. All right, there we go. All right, it's definitely got some juiciness right there. Let's see, a little piece right there. Not bad, not bad. Okay, I shouldn't be doing this with bare hands. My hands are starting to burn, but what do you guys think here?
Great flavor.
Awesome flavor. And here's the really more of the flat here. As you can see, the really lean part of the flat here. And here's the fat cap that I left on there. I didn't really trim down to a 1/4 inch. I'm glad I didn't, because it helped protect and help moisten this this flat here. Let me just give it a little cut here and see what it looks like. I should probably put the fat side down when I do that, but it's all right. Yeah, that's falling apart, but you know what? That's the way I like my brisket, just like that. Oh. I hope you guys enjoyed this show. It's not a lesson on how to cook a brisket, just how we cook brisket. We are going to be taking this with us camping next week, so we're going to be, you know, carving it up and put it in chunks and bags and put it in the fridge at some point. So anyway, you guys, please meet us over on Facebook discussions group, Greenhorn Barbecue Beer Discussions. Post your pictures of your brisket. If you're a YouTuber, put a link of your video. Like to share, like to get everyone out there sharing each other's information. You know, I'm not here to teach you. I'm just showing you how I do it, how she does it, and you know, if there's a better way, go ahead and let us know. Okay.
And if you're not a subscriber to our channel, go to Greenhorn Barbecue and Beer on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that bell. You don't miss a thing.
Right on. Okay, guys, be safe out there. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you. Bye.